I think I just exude discomfort. So when you have someone on your show...
I think you're too hard on yourself. No.
When you have someone on your show, how do you go about making them comfortable? Especially if you can tell that they're a bit nervous, they're about to be on air.
When I first came here, I felt like there was... Italians in senior positions tend to talk down to people. That's what I think. Whether I'm right or wrong, I don't know. The Australian way is to talk across, or even to lower yourself and talk up, So when someone comes in, you're not lowering yourself, but you're just non-threatening, and you talk quietly, and you give people the opportunity to say what they want to say, and you stay silent while they're saying. I don't like to interrupt. Sometimes I find myself I do, because I just want to get something out. Right. But I mean, it's a skill to just sit and wait for the person to finish talking, and then to say something. So it's all of that. But I think just to lower the temperature, keep it as casual as you possibly can, and I think also, if you ask people about themselves, they know everything they need to know. They don't have to do any preparation. They don't have to remember stuff. They know their own lives. Where do they come from? What was mum and dad like? What motivates them? Why they do what they do? It's not rocket science. Larry King, the guy that used to be on in the United States, it's what he used to do. And I think you'd be honest too, like Larry King, I always remember his story. When he first got on the radio, he was so nervous, nothing came out. And after a couple of minutes, he put the music down, and he struck on what's true, and that is, he was honest. He said, look, this is the first time I'm on the radio, and I'm nervous. Please be aware of that. And if you say that, people normally think, oh, well, look at that, So just be honest. Mm. Say what you think. Always be respectful. Sometimes you can be a bit cheeky or a bit, but don't take shit. Mm. I think you've got to stand up for yourself as well. And that's it. And I think it's also being, you know who you like and who you don't like. So if people like you or they respect you, they'll take what you say with a bit more gravity than if you're a dislikable person.
Mm. Yeah. I want to ask you about something. I don't know if you said this to Tony tongue-in-cheek, and maybe there was nothing really here, but maybe...
Tony who?
The person who wrote your biography.
Oh, Tony Brancatisano.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Your first job in Alice Springs in '82, you mentioned that you were a bit too full of yourself. I'd love to know in what way. Like, how do you look back on yourself in those days, and how do you judge yourself then?
Ray, I think humility is just the most magnificent thing, and because why wouldn't we be humble? Who do we think we are? We are just human beings, come in the same way, go out the same way. We, in our heads, sometimes think we're this or we're that, but we're not really any of that. It's just in our heads. My dad couldn't read or write, but he was smart as a razor blade. He was as sharp as a razor blade. But when you're 22 or 23 and you went from pushing trolleys in at Safeway to then thinking you're some big guy in Alice Springs because you're on the radio, maybe that's what I meant. But life fixes all that up. I think as you get older, you realise you play a little part. We're not saving lives. We're not giving someone a heart transplant. We're not resolving the problems with cancer or sorting out Middle East peace. We're just doing our job. And hopefully through doing our job, we touch somebody or somebody listens to something and it changes their life. You know, I used to talk to Maria Mercuri, she was a psychologist, and I thought that was really important. I got her on quite early because I think, you know, in the Italian community, mental illness was always like,
Repressed.
repressed, yeah. So it's good to talk about the fact that everybody has problems at some stage in their life, and to sort out those problems, you need to go and talk to somebody. Yeah, so they're the sort of things that I like to try and do. I think good, you know, people believe in God, I believe in good.